Yeah, I wrote on my stories, if you ever want to see Lucy and I murder each other, you should watch us try to set up for a virtual podcast recording. I have to have it as both of us showing for the recording, but I can't look at myself while we record. Honestly, the biggest thing that I'm just like done with when it comes to my job, I don't want to look at myself anymore. I'm so over it.
Yeah, that
I'm
is really
so
hard.
over at staring at myself. I'm not going to say my job's hard because it's not, but I hate watching myself constantly. Okay. First and foremost, people were asking, when is Lucy coming back on? If it were up to me, it would be all the time. But little Miss Lucy works a corporate job and
It's tough.
it's really
It's
putting
tough.
a fucking stunt in our growth, Lucille.
Well, okay, well, I'm in the office Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
I
and
know,
then I
but
work throughout the day.
well, I
Well,
know you work, you have a
look at me
job.
right now.
Yeah, thank you. But it's virtual. I like being in person.
Me
Um,
too. I like it better too.
yeah, it's
Great
so
camera,
much better. Yeah, everything's better.
my
Everything.
lighting.
Actually, this can be one of our questions. Someone asked, basically, we're gonna go over some questions, and a lot of them have to do with mom and dad selling the house. And so I think it's interesting the concept of like saying goodbye to your childhood home. I kind of feel like I was beating a dead horse with it, quite honestly. And I was like, who the
Hmm.
actual fuck cares? But my DMs were blowing up of people saying that they went through this and how
How
hard it
sad they
is
were.
and how sad it is. And you should do a podcast on it. So here we are. First and foremost, do you still have petty sister fights or have you outgrown that?
Um, I don't know about like petty sister fights, but like what we just went through with
Yeah,
like
that's what I was going to say. Like that,
yeah, where it's just
that's the
like you go
extent of our
back to your
fighting.
childhood, where you revert back
Yeah.
and you're just like little like nah. Like for people don't was it recording before? Like do
No, I
they
honestly wish
yeah.
I had recorded it,
Okay.
but I wouldn't have been able to anyway because we were hopping between 10,000 microphones the entire
Yeah.
time.
So I to give a little background, this morning I left New York to come to the beach and I knew that Cami wanted to do a podcast recording today. So I was like, I can't forget the mic, can't forget the mic. Of course, I leave, start driving, forget the mic. And then I realize a few blocks away, so it wasn't like that big of a deal. Tried calling Cami to be like, do I need the mic? And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to do the right thing.
Thank you.
Turn around. I go back inside. I couldn't leave Kona in the car, so I pick her up. I didn't have the leash. I'm sweating my ass off. I go get the microphone and I'm like, oh, I feel like I can't remember if it's Bluetooth. I can't remember if there's a plug-in or what. But normally, if I put something away, well, normally if Tyler puts something away and it
Yeah,
has something
please,
that's
if
supposed to
you
be
put
with
something
it,
away, if Tyler is cleaning up your mess,
then he would have put whatever adapter it would need. So I was like, oh, I don't think it is, but I don't have time. Take the mic and run. Of
you
course, it
were
needs the
wrong.
adapter.
Of course,
So
it needs a
we
cord.
yeah. So well, I thought it was Bluetooth, but clearly not. So then now I'm using these headphones, which 10 minutes ago my dad was like, do you want these? And I was like, no, we don't need them. So he threw them away. So I had to
But
go
can I
dig for them in
also
the
just say
trash.
that this entire thing that went down before this started is like quintessential of our family dynamic and sister dynamic because I love you to death, but like you were trying to figure something out. I get it. It's for my job. I
Mhm.
get that I'm the one who knows I do this thing. And look, let me just say, while we're speaking about my job, you do learn 10,000 things that like you never thought you would know of like how
Yeah.
to operate these systems. But you're like somehow mom and dad are involved. Why are mom and dad involved with you trying to find a fucking microphone cord? Because
Because they have all the cords in the world.
no, because anytime that you try to do something, like if there's a task,
They get involved.
they get involved. Whether they insert themselves or you insert them, you are the baby of the family and they're always involved.
Well, yeah,
And
but I don't really want to
when
go searching in drawers trying to find something when I don't know what I'm going to find in their bedroom. So
very fair,
I
but
didn't feel
then
like doing that.
I get mad because it's work for me and I get frustrated and it triggers my stuff of like no one takes this seriously. And then when mom and dad get involved, it turns into a production. And I'm like,
Mhm.
oh my fucking God, this does not need to be a thing.
Yeah. So
So then we're
that
bitching at each other.
happened. So it's more just like annoying, like she is annoyed with me, then I'm annoyed with her, and then we're just like
We
both
snap,
annoyed.
but it's never real fighting. I actually cannot remember the last.
The last time I was like actually angry with you or Maddie, where
Yeah,
I was like,
I can't remember our last fight. I feel like you got in a fight with Joe once and we were fighting.
in like high school or
No,
college.
I can't remember. I honestly cannot remember our last fight, but we petty fight. Yes, we bicker all the
Yeah.
time because we're sisters.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
that TikTok that I saw of like one sister sitting at a table and the other sister walks behind her and like takes the hair clip out of her hair and uses it in her room
Yeah.
and was like, this is what being a sister is like. And
Yeah.
literally that, it's that.
It's so true.
Like you have something and I need it. It's mine now.
It's mine now.
Like,
Thanks.
sorry. Thank you so much for the gift and you'll
Yeah.
see it never.
Yeah.
By the way, thank you so much for putting my shirt back. I saw it in my closet the other day and I thought that you were taking it, that you wore it to the birthday party. You said, did you
Do you
not put
have
it
two
back?
of them?
Wait, you have it?
Yeah.
I
It's here.
swear to fucking God, I saw it in my closet.
Wait, do you have two of them? Because I want it.
No,
I was
no, I
gonna
don't.
ask you for it.
No, but I'm so confused. Okay, well then
No, I put it back.
thank you not, biatch.
No,
Oh,
I
you know
put it
what it
back.
was? I saw
I
the
know
tiger one.
I literally was like thinking to myself, oh, I want to steal this. And then I
No,
was
you
like, you know
can't.
what?
You can't.
I
I wear it all the
won't.
time.
Well, I could have.
No, because you know what I'm now realizing? Maybe I saw the tiger shirt that's like a similar color and not that one. Um, but that was the essential. You take a shirt for the birthday party, fine, whatever, I don't care. And I'm like, can you please go put that back? And you're like, no, I'm taking it to the beach.
Yeah.
I'll just give it to you this weekend. And I'm like, no, put it fucking back.
Well, I had
That's
already
okay.
packed up
I know.
my
All right,
stuff.
whatever. Someone also asked, what is the best sister fight you've ever gotten in? And I honestly can't.
Um, so hard when you
I
have bad
know.
memory.
Awful, horrific.
Especially
Um,
child, like I don't remember any like
childhood, I don't remember shit. I know I
no.
used to bribe you with fake rocks to not play with
That
my
is
friends.
true. Tyler would love that about
I know.
me. Um,
Um,
I can't remember like a sister fight that we've like that was bad.
Me either. Okay. All right. My nose is
Oh,
bugged. What?
I have one. This is like not a bad one,
Okay.
but just because I took a screenshot of it and I've been going through my camera roll and trying to delete pictures because I have no storage. And I came
How
across it
many
and I was
photos do you have?
laughing. Like I think 50,000.
Oh,
52,788.
Jesus Christ. I have 20,000 and I have two children and I'm an influencer. What is on your phone?
Most of them are your children.
Okay.
I I don't know, but I need
But you
to
don't delete.
I don't delete. I take so many and then I delete and I
Okay.
don't delete. Okay, so
That's crazy. Emily does that and it drives, like, I don't understand how it's possible. Okay. Sorry.
one this is like so minor, but I just think it was so funny. When you and Joe, I think it was like I was in high school, so you must have been in college, and it was the night before Thanksgiving, and I was too young to go out to the bars because I didn't have like I guess I don't know, whatever. And I was at my ex-boyfriend's house and you called me at like 1 or 2 in the morning.
No, it was probably like
Yes.
11 o'clock. The
No,
bars
it
aren't even
wasn't.
open that late in
Yes,
town.
they are. I was just out until like past 1 this
Okay,
weekend.
baller.
No big deal. It was my first time going to the Ivy.
What?
Isn't that crazy? Never been.
That's wild. Okay.
Okay.
Anywho,
And so you called me and I wake up out of my sleep and you're
sleep.
like,
You fell
"Can you
asleep.
please come pick me up?" Granted, I didn't even have a car at the house. So like I would have had to take my ex-boyfriend's car. And he's like, you were like, come pick us up. And I was like, Cammy, I have been asleep now for like 4 hours. Like, no, call
I
an
am in
Uber or a
REM.
taxi. Like, get somebody else to come pick you up. And then you texted me and you were like, I would never do this to you. I can't fucking believe you. You're so mean. So much for that's my sister. Like, you're horrible. And I was like, Oh my God. What the fuck? And I think that was the first time I had, like, realized, like, I guess maybe not, like, the first time, but I was just like, "Whoa, drinking makes you angry." Not you, but, like, people. I was like, "Why is she so mad at
Yeah,
me?"
and me. Um,
But that's, like, the only
yeah,
one that I
I
could think of.
remember
But
that.
then the next day, I was just like, "You were crazy," and you were like,
No,
"Yeah,
you got I think mom and dad got involved in the sense of like
probably."
you can't do that. Well, I think I don't think Ubers existed back then. Okay.
Oh, maybe.
They no, like I don't. We didn't have Ubers in
Yeah,
college.
yeah, I guess that's true.
So taxis, you couldn't get a taxi.
I know.
I
I
don't know
don't know
how
how
I
you
was
got
getting
home.
home.
I don't know
So
how you did.
I couldn't tell you. I mean, that was like New Year's when I got kicked out of the sports bar and I had to call dad to come pick me up. And I was
Mm.
sitting on the sidewalk just being like, "Dad, I need to get picked up." And like I was under 21 and I remember being like, "There are police around here." And then he came to pick me up
Oh
and then all of a
god.
sudden I piled like 10 people
I
into his
remember
car. And
that.
if you know my dad, this is something that is not something he would do. I pile everyone in the car. I'm like, "All right, we're making trips." And he's like,
Fuck you.
absolutely F you. Um, so I do remember calling you because I thought
Yep.
that was how I was gonna get home. And the
Yep.
"that's my sister" was something that we were raised to always say, like, in not in that way, but "that's my
You'd be
sister,"
like,
that you
"That's
would
my
do anything
sister."
for your
Yeah,
sister. You can bitch at them, you can fight with them, but the second
but
anyone
that's your
else says something
sister.
bad about them, they're dead to you.
So much for that.
Yeah, so so much for "that's my sister." Maybe
It's
that'll be the
so
title
good
of
though.
this episode.
So funny.
Um, all right, most of the questions and what I want to talk about is mom and dad selling our childhood home.
Mhm.
RIP to the best place that has ever existed.
Ever. Ever, ever, ever.
A lot of people are wondering why they're selling the home. I mean, quite honestly, like it's just so much upkeep, so much
It's
more
been a long
space.
time
It's
coming.
been a long time coming. They've been talking about this for like 5+ years
Mhm.
almost. It had been on the market once before, it didn't sell. So like this has been a long time coming. And the sick thing is I've been like, I feel the number one proponent of like, maybe Maddie, but like sell the house. You don't spend
Yeah,
enough time here. It's so much upkeep, both like physically, financially, emotionally. You don't need this much space. But God, that hurt like a dagger when it really happened.
I know. And I feel like I had kind of been preparing myself for it because it was already on the market. They've been talking about it for so long. They're never like, they really are not there a lot. We only go home a handful of weekends, like Christmas,
Thanksgiving and Christmas,
Thanksgiving,
that's it.
definitely, and then, like, Tyler and I will sometimes go home for, like, a weekend here and there, but, like, definitely not more than, like, 10 out of the year, not even more than, like,
No,
5,
absolutely not. Yeah, I'm at two.
and yeah, and so I feel like I had been preparing myself, but then when it was really happening, I was like, "Oh my god," and then I just like, Saturday was my or Sunday was the day that I said goodbye to the house, and I felt like I just was, like, disassociating. I was like, "I can't deal with this emotion right now. I'm gonna put this away, and I'll unpack it another time."
Oh, see, okay.
But I was
A,
sobbing also.
like
And wait, also really quickly, it was my 10th year high school reunion this past weekend. So I had 2 of my best high school friends stay at the house Friday and Saturday, and on Sunday morning, we, like, walked around the house in the backyard, and we were just going over memories, and Emma, who has been one of my best friends since kindergarten. We've gone kindergarten through senior year of high school, went to PDS, and we lived, like, very close to each other, and so she would spend so much time at the house, and she was like, "This is so fucking weird, like, I did not think I would be this upset about it."
this is what I want to talk about. Okay, first and foremost, I'm just gonna like obviously address the elephant in the room. Like so much fucking privilege here. Our parents have multiple houses, so like we see them a lot. We still have other places that we will go and visit and be with them.
Mhm.
It's just not going to be the house that we grew up in that you were brought home to from the
Yeah,
hospital. We moved there when I was 3, so we've had it for 30 years. So it's not that we've spent that much time there over the past 5, 10 years, more so since I've had kids, but
yeah.
it's what it
It's our
represents
childhood.
is our childhood. And for
Yeah.
me, I have such intense nostalgia for periods of life, specifically childhood. and I have a really hard time with change. So I knew that this
Yeah.
was gonna rock me, and I hadn't like thought about it. I hadn't really talked about it. Like some of my friends didn't even know it was happening until they saw it on Instagram. They were like, "Wait, what the fuck is going on?" I just think there's been so much going on, but I was in therapy on Wednesday and I said, "Oh, I'm going home this weekend and I'm going to say goodbye to the house." And she was like, "Wait, wow, that was really fast. How do you feel?" And I said, "I
Hmm.
honestly haven't thought about it." And then I started hysterically crying and I was like, "Okay, clearly I need to unpack some things because I,
Yeah.
like you, I had just been pushing it down and pushing it down, pushing it down. But when I got to that house, I mean, you saw me, like I
Yeah.
was a wreck. I get very emotional saying goodbye to things. I get very emotional around change. The idea that like that's not an option for me to return to
Yeah.
is what's hurting me the most.
Hmm.
I also the fact that like there's going to be a family there. I know that's supposed to bring me comfort that like kids are going to have these great
That's
memories,
so
but I'm like
weird.
but that's mine.
I
That's
know.
mine. So I was a wreck. Were you as bad as I was when you left on Sunday?
Um, I was like, well, when we were walking around the house and the backyard, Emma was just like bringing up things that I had like totally forgotten about, like the camps that you guys used to do
Yeah.
and like do like teaching us like Britney Spears dances, like dances to Britney Spears songs. And like
Used to
that,
charge
I was
people to
like,
teach their daughters to
yeah.
be like
And I'm walking around just like, what the fuck? And then mom also had said that we were leaving at 2:30 to go to your
Yeah,
house.
well, that's my fault. I called and I was like, "Can you come
And then
earlier?"
she's like, Kimmy wants us earlier. We're leaving in 30 minutes. And we left at like 1 maybe. And so I was like, okay, great. I have so much time to like say goodbye to the house and I can do a full walk around. And then she's like, let's go. So I had to pack up. And then I just got in bed and started sobbing. And then I FaceTimed you. And then I was just like so fucking sad. And then I had to drive. So I was like, okay, let me pull myself together.
Yeah. But
But yeah, I was a mess.
it's the fact that like it closes such a chapter of your life. And for
Hmm.
me, I think it also, I mean, you saw my breakdown the first Christmas after getting married. I just have a hard time
Yeah.
growing up. I have a hard time with change and adjusting and like adulthood. And I was even more so emotional in that moment because I wanted to simply just like have the time to reflect on the house, like take it in, cry, be emotional, but I also had to be a mom because my two boys were with
Yeah.
me. And I was texting my friend about this because she was dealing with something else with her family and simultaneously navigating her kids at the same time. And I said, what was really the most difficult was that I wanted to have the time for myself. I wanted to fully allow myself to feel all of my feels, to do all these things. But like, I still had to navigate with Joe, like waking them up, feeding a bottle,
Hmm.
getting them ready for the car, like also explaining to my toddler, like, this is why I'm
Why
crying.
I'm sobbing right now.
This is like mom's losing her shit. And I did tell him going into it, I said, mommy might cry. Like, I'm really sad. And he's been so obsessed with the concept of them selling this house. Like, when dad came to his birthday party the next day, he goes, Paka, did you sell the house today? Like, he's obsessed with it. I don't know why. And he told mom, like,
Well,
it's
he goes,
really sad you're selling your house. I never want to sell my house.
and he goes, I'm no, he told mom,
I'm never going to sell my house.
he told mom, I, we're never gonna sell our house. And mom goes,
You already
he's
did.
telling it to me. She goes, you've already fucking did. You sold your
Yeah.
New York City
Thanks.
apartment.
Psycho.
Obviously, she did not say this to him. She was saying it to
Questionable.
me
I
after the
honestly think she
fact.
might have. I think she actually did
Perhaps.
say, well, you did sell a house.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, it just, yeah, it was very emotional, which is also comical because our older sister didn't shed one fucking tear. Didn't
No,
even
and you
care.
know what? At the birthday party, I was like talking to her, and she was like, "Oh, how was your weekend?" I was like, "Whatever," talking about it. And then I was like, "Oh, well, I had to say goodbye to the house." And she's like, "What do you mean you had to say
Yeah,
goodbye?
like,
Like, I don't get it." And I was like, "Well, we're not gonna be at the house ever again, so I had to say goodbye." And she was like, "I don't understand though. Why were you upset?"
no, like
And
I
I
can't
said to her,
compute.
"Well, because I was born there and I've lived there for through high school and then have like obviously come back, like that's my home." She didn't understand.
Didn't understand.
And she was like, "I just don't get why people are emotional leaving houses." And I was like, "Well, I think you're in the minority here. Like
I
some
actually
people
would be
are
curious. We'll
normal."
do a poll on my story because I got so many messages of people being like, oh my God, I deeply relate to this. But then I'm sure people were like, girl, what is going on? You're 32. Like, why are you so sad?
Yeah,
Am I
but
32? Yeah,
I think it's different with people who maybe sold people move. I think it's really
true. We
rare
never
that we
moved.
never moved. I
Well,
think
yeah, that I remember.
yeah, like that was the house from kindergarten through.
Well, no, you never moved. I
That's what I'm
did move
saying.
from New York, but
So I think that that's rare.
I
Like
was born in New York City.
a lot of my friends are like, yeah, we moved when
True.
I was
True, true, true.
going into middle school, going into high school. Like
I mean,
Tyler's moved
Lizzie,
so many times.
my
Like,
best friend selling her home, I remember it was the death of her. Like I
yeah.
vividly remember having to console her, do all this. I think we were in high school or in college, but I'll do a poll on my story because it's emotional. It's so fucking emotional. But what I want to get into, and I wish I had texted my friends. Maybe we can phone
But
a
I
friend.
think, wait, quickly, I
Sorry.
think it's because we're like almost late to the game. I think people experience it when they're younger or like in high school or college or even middle school where they're selling their houses. So that at that moment, that's probably like the world is fucking ending because they might need to be going to a new school or something, whatever.
True, true, true.
I think now it's not as common, like it's just not that common to have a house for that long. I
No.
don't know.
But
So
also, this is what I want to talk about. Our house was so much more than like the house. And
it
I've
was a
been
party spot
really, well, yeah, but I've honestly, look, I've been really trying to think about this and I've gotten a lot of messages asking this. Like, why did so many people, oh my God, Lissy just made me almost want to cry. Um, why did this feel so emotional for so many people outside of our nuclear 5-person family? Because when I posted that we were leaving and I did some stories, like, yes, there were people responding, being like, oh my God, this is sad, whatever. But then there were so many people who we know in our lives, whether it be like some of my best friends or people who I haven't spoken to in years,
yeah.
responding, being like, this is making me emotional. I am so sad. Like, why is it that that house, and I actually want to try to get into this, had such a positive impact on so many people? And I'm curious, A, because I keep getting asked this question, but B, because I want to create that in my home.
Hmm.
Mom and dad were, specifically mom, like hosts, party throwers, insane
Yeah.
parties. And
And
that
I
makes,
think just in
yeah.
general, like when we had people over, like she just made them feel at home
But
immediately.
this
Like,
is what it is. This is what I want to get into because it then has me questioning, and this is my therapy. Like, I don't love the like extravagant party hosting in the sense of decor, like all of that.
yeah.
But I still, because I think if we get into it, like, yes, the parties were amazing that we grew up with, but it also was like always very stress inducing for
Hmm.
the people who lived in the home. And I think that that's something that I just like have veered away from of interest. But the result made everyone feel so welcome. And I don't know if
Yeah,
that's the party or the people and the personality, but I want my home to be something that feels that way for my friends and my kids' friends and everyone. So I'm
for
curious.
sure.
Text your friends actually, because I just texted Lizzie.
Okay.
I want to get into it. I texted two of my closest friends who were very emotional when, like, crying when I told them we were selling the house. I said, what do you think made our parents' home so great for other people outside the family? Lizzie said the family in it. But then I said, like, can you explain? She said, you never felt unwelcomed. The door was literally always open. Honestly, especially your mom, she'd take in anyone, feed them, invite them over again, include them on every party she threw. She was so happy to have any guest. Any friend of her daughter's was family to her, and family of her daughter's friends were family to her. Just a
Oh
lot
my
of love in
God.
the house.
That's so nice. Tell mom that. Well, she'll listen, but
I'm
tell
going
her.
to.
Yeah, no, but I think that's it. Like, I literally think that it is how welcoming and how open mom was with the house. Like, anyone, you could have anyone over and she would be like, treat them like one of their own children. And I think
Yeah.
that, like, I feel like there's a lot of people's houses where you just feel a little off or like a little
Like you're a
unwelcomed,
guest.
and you're just like, should I not be here? Like, do I need to, whatever, especially as a kid, like growing up. I
Like,
remember
do I
houses
need
that I
to
would go
ask if
to.
I can get a drink out of the
Yeah.
fridge?
Like if you want food, like if you want food at my house, at our house, like you just go get it
No, of
yourself. Like you're
course.
not, well, there will probably be fucking
Platters.
platter out for you. But like no, there was no fear of having to ask for anything. It was just open for everyone. And I think that that played a huge part into it. And just like people just felt so welcomed, and like they could be themselves, and that it was, I don't know, it's, I think it's a testament to mom, honestly.
I think, I mean, dad, love you too, but like mom was the
But
primary person there
growing
growing
up,
up.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's such a testament to mom. I think it's making,
Her be
yes,
like
like
listening outside the door
I
right
know
now.
the door was literally and figuratively always open, always, never
Always.
locked,
Never
never.
locked. Which
And
is
it
so
is
crazy.
so crazy. It is such a like, what's mine is yours, come in, bring whoever. Like
Hmm.
once we say this a lot, and I do think that we emulate this as well as our kids, but like once you're in, you are in, like your family. And I think there's the party aspect, yes, but I think so much of it more was just the feeling of like making people feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And
Well, even just like a casual, like, yes, she would throw these massive parties, but even just like a casual Friday night in high school, oh, like just having my group of girlfriends
right,
over.
everyone just wanted to always be at our house.
Yeah.
And I have been thinking about it a lot because, again, I want that to be our home. I don't think it had to do with the size or,
Yeah.
the decor or any of that. It was just really
Yeah. It was just
the
like,
love.
yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Agreed.
it's,
Oh,
yeah, I mean, that's why it makes me
fucking,
want to bawl.
fucking A.
Also, I realized we didn't say this when we said they were moving. So many people are asking where they're moving to and if they'll be closer to me, specifically closer to
Mm.
us. They're actually moving to New York City.
So they'll be closer to me.
So they'll be closer. Actually, they will be closer to me.
Actually, they're still 45 minutes away from me. So
Yeah.
they're
They are.
moving to the Upper East
Where
Side.
they're moving
So
is far. Um,
mom
I
was
mean,
like,
they'll be,
oh, after like she, after they fully got the apartment and everything, she's like, wait,
yeah.
so how, like, we're going to be so close. Like, this is great. You can come over whenever. Obviously, it's not that far at all, but fucking subway system getting up and
No, but New York
across,
up and it's across.
it's
It's
it's crazy.
yeah.
And so we looked it up, and I was like, oh, the subway's 45 minutes, and Uber or taxi is going to be 30 minutes without traffic. And she was like, oh shit. I'm like, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
remember we went to the apartment and we were like, are we gonna go up? Like we missed the
do we
train
really
home,
have
the whole thing.
to?
Um, so I'm so excited for them. I think that it'll be
Yeah.
like their next chapter, which,
Hmm.
is gonna be great for them. That's
And I think
amazing.
they're really excited.
They're so excited. And that for me is what keeps like when I'm really sad about them selling the house, this is 110% the right decision for everyone
Yeah.
involved, but especially them. And like I want them to have that fun. And I also think it gives me hope like later in life, there's so many iterations of your
Hmm.
life. And like they're about to enter this incredibly new and fun chapter and how exciting for them.
Yeah.
Now I just want to go. Now I just want to do some
Ooh.
questions quickly. When did Lucy and Tyler plan on getting married?
No. Um, and I get engaged.
Ow, oh my God. I bruised my rib with my fall. And like honestly,
Your
so
fault.
proud of myself that I haven't made that my personality. I haven't even shared that on social. I'm in so much pain every time I laugh and sneeze, and it hurts so fucking badly. But
I I need like a recording of that. Um, I don't, well, I gotta get engaged first. I will say we went to look at rings. So I don't want to know any information other than that.
okay,
But
perfect.
depending on timing and venue timing, perhaps next year, perhaps the year after that.
Okay. Right.
I'm not done on that. But I don't want to know
Um,
anything.
all right. Someone on that note said, like, how do you feel being in such a different timeline than your two sisters?
Oh, me.
Yeah. What do you mean?
I thought you were, I thought they were asking you how you feel that I'm not on your timeline,
Oh, I
which I
mean,
know you don't
you know
like.
how I feel.
Um, like it really doesn't bother me whatsoever. I think also seeing you guys in the stages of being mothers, I am like, "Oh, holy shit, how am I supposed to be doing this one day?" Like it has made me rethink some things. Not like
What do you
about having
mean?
no, I'm just like, "Oh my God, like I'm not ready for that right now."
Yes, fair.
So that I don't like that doesn't bother me. Then I'm more I don't really think other people's timeline matter,
Agreed.
whatever. Like, I'm gonna do what I want because I want to do it. That being said, none of my friends, I have like one friend that's engaged,
Yeah.
and a lot of my friends are in long-term relationships. I think a lot of them,
It's going to be
mm,
kind of a domino effect.
yeah,
That's
it's
kind
gonna
of what
be a
happened
domino
with
effect.
us.
But because of that, I don't feel any sense of like urgency. Not like I wouldn't want to be the person that is married and then wait 2 years and then have my friends start getting married. Like it's just fun being in the same
Yeah.
like wavelength as my friends.
Yeah, I get that. I think
So
for me,
doesn't really bother me.
okay, well, it bothers me. And I'm not saying I don't want you to, I think you're young. Like, I don't want you to have kids in this time of your life.
Hmm.
I don't want to like
For our
rush
future
your
selves.
timeline, but for our future selves, I really wish that our kids would be closer in age just because of how close we are with our cousins based on our age. And like I see that
Yeah.
with my toddler and Maddie's toddler. Like it's so amazing for them and
Hmm.
so fun. And I just would love that for us.
Yeah,
So
but if you have a
if I
third,
have a third, maybe it would time up. Probably not, to be honest, but like
well, it
maybe
wouldn't time up exactly, but it could time up like a year
a
or
year.
two.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And then what if it's a
So
girl and then I have a girl?
what are you definitely having a girl? I mean, I'm banking
I'm
on
saying
probably having a boy
I'm saying what
statistically.
if?
I will probably have a boy. Um, I think that's a thing. Like if you have two of the same, you're statistically more likely to have a third the same. Who knows?
Probably. Sounds right.
But
I'll
that's
buy
what's
it.
hard for me.
Yeah, for sure. Thinking about our future selves
And when we're at the
completely.
beach and stuff, and you and Tyler are like, "Oh, let's stay up late and watch a movie and get high and do all stuff," I'm like, I still have to like get up and be a parent
Yeah.
at 6:30,
Yeah. That's so true.
or like let's just do nothing all day, go to the beach like that. I'm like, oh, that's
Hmm.
I would love to spend the day with you doing that. Um, what
Yeah.
is your favorite thing? Another question. What is your favorite thing about being an aunt before having like without kids?
Okay. Well, I was extremely, extremely, extremely blessed to be living in the same building with you
Yeah.
for what, a year and a half?
A year and a half. Yeah.
A year
A
and a
year and a
half.
half.
Um, with your first son, and that was like the best thing I could have ever asked for.
The
Having
best.
him just I could see him whenever I wanted. Like
Yeah.
I was hungover and I'm like, I need to cuddle a baby, bring him downstairs. Like it wasn't great when I was hungover and I had to change his diaper, but
Yes.
even I have to go walk Charlie.
No,
Can you
like it was
come
so
watch
helpful
him?
for me.
For you, for sure. But it
Yeah.
also was such a blessing for me because I was like, yeah, of course I'll come up and hang out with him. Like I'll do that whenever. So that was so amazing and so fun. And now I think seeing the personalities of your first son and Maddie's son is insane. I think the bebe is still a bebe, and I'm really
Yeah.
excited to see what his personality is going to be like. But with the two of them, like just chatting with each other and
No,
just
it's
being
so
so
funny.
silly and crazy, like it's just such a fun feeling. And I think also at the time that we were living together, or in the same building, he was obsessed with me, and that also was the best feeling ever.
Yeah,
And now
it
not so
was.
much, but
Well, he's
not that
not
he's not
really
obsessed
obsessed
with
with
me. He's just like
anyone. He's
a
he's
toddler
just
now.
yeah, yeah.
He's too
Unless
cool for
you're
school.
me or dad or
Yeah.
Baka. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's just the best ever. And it's really fun to just have them and see them grow up. It's great.
Last question for you that someone submitted. What is your biggest ick that millennials do?
Oh, that millennials do.
Well, because what are you?
I think I'm on the cusp.
Okay. Well, still.
I'm 1996.
Okay, but what?
Um,
Like, I am
I
peak
s-
millennial.
I saw a TikTok that was like when millennials wear like crew socks and not like ankle socks like
Wait.
these.
Okay, that's fucking weird because I just opened my Instagram. This is so weird. This is where our brains, no, Lucy, this is
What?
really weird. Our brains are the same. And after this, we're going to end by doing that word game that we do sometimes. I
Oh, and
opened my
I have to
phone
do something. I
to
have to
look
say
at
something.
questions, and this is the real.
That's really funny. Okay, yeah,
It's
that.
everyday problem, ankle or crew socks. Shout out sweat and towel. But like, what the fuck? The fact that you would just say that. And then I was with a girlfriend like a group of friends the other night, and one of my friends is older. I think she's like 38, 39. And she was like, what is up with the socks? What socks do I wear? Because I feel like a freak if I'm wearing
Yeah.
these high ones. I feel like I'm trying to be so young, but then I feel weird. Like, okay, so that's one of yours. Are there any others?
I wouldn't say that's like a main one. I just saw that and I thought that that was funny because I feel like that is a struggle for them.
Yeah.
Um, oh, I need to like think about this. I don't have
Okay.
one off the top of my head.
That's fine.
But I did start keeping a list of pet peeves or icks in general, and I have two of them.
Please share.
When people say AM in the morning, like, oh, I woke up at 6 a.m. this 6 a.m. in the morning,
Who would
or
ever say that?
people say it
Like
and
I
it
woke up at 6 a.m. in the
drives,
morning. When you just say I woke up at
yes,
6?
or 6 a.m., which means morning,
Okay.
or 6 in the morning. No,
Okay.
keep, now that you know this, you'll notice when
Okay.
people say it. I wish I had like a better like
That's fine. What's the other one?
example. Okay, the other one is when people use whenever incorrectly. And they're like, oh, whenever I went to the beach yesterday, there was a shark in the water.
Lucy,
It's like, no,
who's
when?
saying these things?
Oh my God. You know, you've never heard somebody say that?
No, like when I went to the beach yesterday,
Yeah,
they would say
no,
whenever I went. I've
yeah.
never in my life heard that. I think you need to assess
No,
the
it's
grammar of
on
the people you're spending time with,
no, none of
coming
my
from someone
friends
who's
do it.
constantly using the wrong words.
None of my friends do it. It's on TikTok when people are doing story times. I'm telling
Oh,
you,
okay.
people, if you agree with me, let me know because, or if
Slide into
you
Lucy's DMs
slide into
at
my
Lucy
DMs.
Linville. Um, is that even your Instagram name?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I
But those are two just in general ones.
Is that what you said you wanted to do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. I'm stressed because I'm getting
Okay.
texts from our nanny that our baby is
Oh.
not like something's going on with him. Um,
Hmm. Okay.
I am gonna go.
All right.
Thank you so much for coming on the pod. Thank you for listening.
I
We will
love
try to
you.
do some episodes with Lucy sporadically. I think we have one planned for like July week, probably not June. I am going to LA for some swaps, and I'm gonna do some work. If you want to come with me, Lucy, you can. I need someone because Chloe
Where
can't
are you
come.
going?
June 23rd and 24th. And I'm also going to, is DC next week? No, I'm going to DC the week after next. And I just want to say if you want to come June 4th, anyone listening, it's a march in DC for the organization March 4th to ban assault weapons, AR-15 specifically. I will put that in the show notes. And I believe I'm going to the White House the day before.
Whoa.
So pop off. I just got a powder pink suit. Lucy, let me just show you this photo quickly
Mm-hmm.
that I think I'm going to wear to be determined. I also got a blue one, but it is so cute. Like Little Miss Barbie
Oh, that's
Who.
really cute. Send that to me. Let
I
me see it.
will. Okay, well,
Wait, do I need a
yeah.
red light mask?
Yes. Oh my God, wait. Okay, sorry. Really quickly. Yes, you do. They're amazing. Do you look ridiculous going to sleep?
Yeah, I saw your TikTok. I have my mouth tape, my
Yeah,
blue mouth tape, which is
the
the
best, but
best
it's not on
one.
Amazon.
Actually, it is back on.
No way.
I ordered it the other day.
And
I
you didn't think
meant to
to
text you. I
text
meant to
me.
text you. I meant to
Okay.
text you.
Okay.
But it was like not from the set. Whatever. It was kind of weird. But it
Okay.
came and it was
Okay.
it used. No, I was joking.
Okay.
And then but I don't have a mouth guard, and I think I should start using brownies. But then I also have this like not a sleep mask, but it's like a weighted, just like
Hello?
long thing,
Okay.
and it's kind of like a weighted pillow mask for my eyes. So I use
Because like
that.
I will do
And
LED mask,
obviously pimple cream.
then I do mouth guard, mouth tape. Sometimes
Yeah.
I do the full sheet mask that I sleep in,
I
or I
just
do the
ordered
frownies.
those.
Like I look ridiculous, and yet I still
Yeah.
get laid. All right. I
Oh.
love you. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for
Love
listening.
you.
And everyone, I hope you have a great day.
Bye, guys.